Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Again, this is your Sir James. And today's video lesson, what I am going to discuss is all about simplifying rational algebraic expressions. So dito class, it is very important to apply your knowledge about simplifying fractions. No? Na kapag sinabi nating simplifying fractions, kaakibat nun is yung pagkuha ng kanyang GCF o yung tinatawag natin na greatest common factor. Kaya dapat strong yung foundation natin doon sa pagkuha ng greatest GCF o yung greatest common factor both ng numerator at saka ng denominator. And that is marami tayong methods na pwede natin gamitin, no, kung saan kayo gamay, like the prime factorization, yung factor tree, the ladder method, or yung listing method. So you can use or you can choose kung saan kayo mas nadadalihan. And since we're talking about rational algebraic expressions, so you have the variables. So what I'm going to use now is also the application of the laws of exponents. No, especially kapag yung variables natin ay meron siyang matataas na exponents. So hindi applicable yung listing method kasi napaka tedious yun or napaka matrabaho. Okay? Sige, so without further ado, let's have our first example. Okay, so let's have our first example, and that is to simplify 12x raised to 5 over 3x raised to 3. So we have our numerical coefficients for both numerator and denominator, 12 over 3, and our variables, we have x raised to 5 and x raised to 3. So our first step is to simplify our numerical coefficients. You have 12 at saka 3. So kukunin natin yung kanyang GCF niya. Or ang unang gagawin natin is to check yung lowest na number kung sakto siyang divisible doon sa mataas na number, no? So let's have 3. So kapag ikaw ay nag-skip count by 3, madadaanan niya ba yung 12? So you have 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay? So meaning, kapag yung denominator natin eksaktong divisible dun sa ating numerator, ang magiging sagot nun is a whole number. Okay? So we can exactly divide yung 12 natin by 3. So yun yung ibig sabihin. So you have 12 divided by 3. Our answer here is 4. Okay? So next is yung x raised to 5 over x raised to 3. So by laws of exponent, doon sa ating quotient rule, na kapag meron tayong parehas na literal coefficient or letter, so ang gagawin natin is just to subtract their exponents, no? 'Di ba? Doon sa quotient rule, kapag parehas yung letter natin sa numerator and denominator, just copy, and then ang gagawin natin sa kanyang exponents, ima-minus natin. So you have 5 minus 3. So pag sinubtract natin 'yan, so syempre copy muna yung x, and then 5 minus 3, the answer is 2. Okay? So therefore, ang magiging simplified answer nitong rational algebraic expression na ito ay 4x raised to 2. Okay? Sige, so let's have more examples. Okay, so second example, we're going to simplify negative 25a raised to 18 over 5a raised to 13. So ito na yung sinasabi ko na kapag listing method, masyadong nadami, no, yung 18 na as our exponent. So sinasabi nito kasi na meron daw tayong 18 na a. Kaya ang gagamitin natin mostly is yung application ng laws of exponents, more on the quotient rule. Okay, so again, so our first step is to check or to simplify our numerical coefficients. So you have 25 over 5. So tignan natin yung lowest exponent, which is 5. So check din natin kung divisible siya doon sa ating highest number. So you have 5, then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So since it is located dito sa ating denominator, ang ibig sabihin nito, magiging whole number yung sagot natin. Okay? Kasi yung 25, eksaktong madidivide sa 5, and our answer here is 5. Okay? So bakit siya negative? Kasi you have negative divided by positive, that is negative. So apply din natin yung laws of or rules of signs natin. Okay? So next you have same letters. So again, by laws of exponent or quotient rule, simply copy A and subtract their exponents. So you have 18 minus 13. Ang sagot natin dito is 5. Okay? So therefore, our final answer is simply negative 5a raised to 5. Okay, next. Okay, so let's have our third example, and that is to simplify 18m raised to 9 over 4m raised to 6. So again, check natin or simplify natin yung 18 over 4. So get the lowest number, check kung multiple niya, eksaktong multiple doon sa highest number. So you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So unfortunately, yung 4 natin, by skip counting, hindi niya madadaanan yung 18. So kunin pa natin yung kanyang mismong greatest common factor. So ang ginamit ko dito is by listing method. So ang GCF ng 18 at saka 4 ay 2. Okay? So you have to divide now sa ating numerator at saka denominator natin by 2. So you have now 18 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. Ang magiging sagot natin dito is simply 9 over 2. So ganun din ulit by quotient rule. So you have to copy m and then subtract the subtract their exponents. So you have 9 minus 6. So pag sinubtract natin yan, you have 9 minus 6 is positive 3. So okay, lalagay natin siya sa numerator since that's positive. So you have now m raised to 3. So therefore, ang final answer natin is 9m raised to 3 over 2. So that is the simplified answer of 18m raised to 9 over 4m raised to 6. Okay, so let's have our next example. Okay, so this is our fourth example. So that is to simplify 21m raised to 7 n raised to 4 over 7m raised to 3 n raised to 2. So in this example, nakikita natin na meron na siyang dalawang variables. Pero still, yung process natin is the same. No? So just simplify our numerical coefficients. So check natin kung eksaktong madidivide ng lowest number yung ating highest number. So that is 21 divided by 7. So by skip counting, you have 7, 14, 21. So that's exactly na madidivide niya or divisible sa ating 21. So ang magiging sagot natin is 3. Okay? So for the variables, again by quotient rule, simply subtract their exponents, then copy the letters. So you have m raised to 7 minus 3, and then n raised to 4 minus 2. So ito yon. Then you have now to simplify by subtracting the exponents. So copy m, then 7 minus 3, that is 4. Then for n, you have 4 minus 2. Our answer is n raised to 2. So therefore, our final answer is 3m raised to 4 and n raised to 2. Okay, let's have our next example. Okay, so let's have our fifth example. So that is to simplify 25b raised to 11 c raised to 8 over 10b raised to 15 and c raised to 3. So dito it's very obvious na yung 25 natin is not divisible by 10. So by listing method, once again, ang kanyang greatest common factor or GCF is 5. So we're going to divide our numerator and denominator by 5. That is 25 divided by 5, 10 divided by 5. So our answer here is 5 over 2. Again, for our variables, by quotient rule, simply subtract or copy the letters and subtract their exponents. You have now b raised to 11 minus 15, and then c raised to 8 minus 3. Next, we're going to simplify now or subtract by subtraction rule for our exponents. So you have 11 minus 15. Our answer is b raised to negative 4. Next, you have c raised to 8 minus 3. So by subtraction rule, you have now c raised to 5. So as you notice, meron na tayong sagot for our variables na negative. So sabi natin, hindi pwede na magkaroon tayo ng negative exponent. So we need to make it positive. So to make it positive, you have b raised to negative 4. So that becomes now, you have 1 over b raised to positive 4. So magiging nasa denominator na siya to make it positive. So again, b raised to negative 4 becomes now 1 over b raised to positive 4. And that is to multiply, or if we're going to multiply dito sa ating sagot na 5 over 2 times 1 over b raised to positive 4. So simply, lagay natin doon sa ating denominator. So you have b raised to 4. So for our positive, you have c raised to 5. So ganun pa rin. We're not going to change it. No? So nasa numerator pa rin siya. So place that sa tabi ng 5 natin. So you have c raised to 5. So that is our final answer. You have 5c raised to 5 over 2b raised to positive 4. So let's have our sixth example. So we're going to simplify 33b raised to 12, c raised to 10, d raised to 5 over 3b raised to 17, c raised to 3, and d raised to 10. So dito, tatlo na yung ating variables and still, ganun pa rin yung magiging process natin. No? Okay, so let's have now 33 over 3. So dito makikita natin, it's very obvious na yung 33 eksaktong divisible siya by 3. So therefore, magiging sagot dyan is simply 11. No, kasi 33 divided by 3, that is 11. Okay, next, we need to subtract now or to simplify our variables. So you have b raised to 12 minus 17, and then c raised to 10 minus 3, and then d raised to 5 minus 10. So we have here, by subtraction rule, you have b raised to 12 minus 17, that is b raised to negative 5. No? So here, by subtraction rule, 12 plus negative 17. Next, c raised to 10 minus 3. So simply, you have c raised to positive 7. Then for our d, you have 5 minus 10. So again, by subtraction rule, you have d raised to negative 5. So we need to place now our variables. You have b raised to negative 5. So to make it positive, you have now, the actual answer here, you have b raised to negative 5 is equal to 1 over b raised to positive 5. Or simply, write that in our denominator. So you have b raised to 5. Then for our c, so hindi natin gagalawin since it's already positive. So ganun pa rin siya, stay siya dun sa numerator natin. So you have c raised to 7. And then for denominator, for d raised to negative 5, so that becomes now, to make it positive, that is 1 over d raised to 5. Or pag minultiply na natin dito, or nilagay na natin dito siya, so you have to place that in our denominator. So you have d raised to 5. So therefore, final answer is 11c raised to 6, 11c raised to 7 over b raised to 5 and d raised to 5. Okay, so that is our final answer. Okay, so that is all about simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Pero class, in this discussion or video lesson, it is actually simple, no? Simpleng pag-simplify lang ng rational algebraic expressions, since as you notice, ito ay monomial by monomial lang. So in the next video lessons natin or discussions, I'm going to talk about how to simplify rational algebraic expressions na kailangan i-apply na natin yung knowledge natin yung mga previous lessons like factoring, no? Factoring common monomial factor, you have perfect square trinomials, sum and difference of two squares, sum or difference of two cubes, factoring general trinomial. So lahat yon, so kailangan alam natin, no, how to simplify rational algebraic expressions. Okay, so for the meantime, ito muna yung ating diniscuss kasi this is one of the foundations about this topic. Okay, so for this one class, thank you for watching and see you sa ating next video lessons. Bye!